Hello, folks. We kind of had a pause, so for the last segment. So now we're still with the Texas Coalition Against Data Centers, and we're still the Texas Connect or Chat with TA. I'm still TA,
I'm still Miriam.
and we're going into the next segment of the Elmont Water Board review of the tape and dissecting the information.
Yep. Reminder, it happened January 5th, 2026, after all of this information came out. So,
Here we go. Let's see what happens next.
we're going to... Where we left off a little bit last time, where he's asked, how are you going to get them water?
About the package plans.
How are you going to get them water? Or how are you going to...
That's the easiest part, is the Katy Parkway is owned by the county. We can just run a pipe from us all the way down Katy Parkway.
I did find the map.
Oh, let's show them the map then, because there's people out there across the pond, and I know we got people from all over the world watching us.
So first I'm going to show you these two pieces are owned by Infrakey. This piece and this piece. Those are owned by Infrakey, the developer of this data center. All of these other pieces around them are private property and almost entirely agriculture.
And I would like to say that's where we get into that whole fun conversation at the county commissioners the other day about property rights and boundaries. You know,
Yep.
Where they start and where they end.
Someone asked a great question, and they said it's supposed to be at the property line. Well,
this project will not end at the property line.
no.
How are they going to contain the gas that's going to be floating around in the air from those gas generators? That's not going to happen. How are they going to do the sound? That's not going to happen. How are they going to do that heat dome? They're going to build a dome over the thing, literally to catch the heat dome that they're trying to cool off? No.
No. How are they going to deal with the light? How are they going to deal with the construction?
How's all that going to affect all the animals and things around there? People that have dog kennels that are in the area.
There's a reason we put industrial projects in industrial places.
And
This one's in the middle of agriculture.
And people's homes.
And people's homes, neighborhoods. I don't know if... Okay, real quick. Abbott did another interview the other day. I want to say he was in El Paso. And he said...
El Paso.
Yeah. He was like, we're not going to put it in any neighborhoods. Rural neighborhoods, city neighborhoods, any neighborhoods. So for all of us that were wondering what a rural neighborhood was, he's decided any neighborhoods.
And again, who was this?
That was Governor Abbott.
Hey, Governor Abbott. I came to Austin. I wanted to talk to you. You ran up to the Northeast. You, the Lieutenant Governor, the Attorney General, all disappeared. It was sad. So, seeing how I just got this new information, what about this project?
You feel like this project should be canceled? Let's see. Let's just see.
What do you think?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 individual property owners all the way around this property. All of them live there, by the way. They don't just own the property, they live there. It's not like...
Well, I guess the question is, you're the governor. What you going to do about this one?
We'd like to know. But for everybody that was wondering about Katy Road and the county owning it, why the county's ownership of this road bears any weight to the easiness of being able to supply them water, we will never know. But this is Katy Road.
Well, I'm sure Mr. Wilson and the county judge know.
I'm sure they do. We'll ask them about it sometime. Katy Road.
Oh, does that mean we get to go to the Oyster Bar or Terry Black's Barbecue?
I don't know. I can't. They don't even tell you the prices on the menu.
I can't afford those places.
I can't afford those places.
No.
So this is where Katy Road ends. It ends on another road. It's almost a dead end here in Ross. And it goes down. The data center site is close to here. And it keeps going. And it turns. And it loops. But they own it. So it'll be pretty easy to run pipe along that. There's definitely not already pipe running along this, right?
Well, back further this way for sure. Closer towards the Elmont side for sure.
And it goes all the way down here.
Yeah, right about there.
Past a school. and
Well,
into what? Another little. Is this another unincorporated area?
That part there that you got back to is Elmont. The school is
Oh.
further down. That other part was not a school. That I think that's the Schillings industrial area that they have.
Well, this is where it ends. Oh, it
yeah,
doesn't end. here.
Yeah, it
It
goes
ends-
into the school finally right through there.
There we go.
There you go.
I
There's-
see. I see. Well, close enough.
You get the idea.
You get the idea. I don't live there.
That's what I think Wilson's idea is. I don't live there.
I don't live there. I'm not saying I don't care. That's not what I mean. I mean, I have no sense of direction to begin with.
I'm saying you don't care.
You don't care.
That's the
All right.
impression I get.
But this is the easy part. I like the thing he says next.
Pretty good.
Yeah, so that's the most elegant part of the whole solution.
Where's
Most
Katy
elegant.
Parkway?
That's the old railroad right away that goes all the way to Ross.
Okay.
And of course,
Waco owns that?
county.
County.
Oh, county owns, yeah.
County.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, and got to be honest with you guys, if we're going to be bringing in all this
Wait a minute.
infrastructure, it should be in.
He's gonna be honest.
Now,
Be
at this
still,
point in the
be
conversation.
still my heart. Go ahead.
Okay.
infrastructure to develop everything between here and the river. I mean, that's to me, you know, if Waco's going to do it, they're going to run it. They're going to tap into this water line and bring it off, and they're going to walk away. They're not going to worry about any sewer lines, any water lines, or any of that. And if we're going to do it, it's going to, you know, we can run water supply up the Katy Parkway, but we could run sewer collection and other water down the White Rock Creek Basin.
Put a pause.
And
He says there, for the second time that I know of, because I asked him in December, was he going to take it through White Rock Creek? And he avoided the question the first two times until I funneled it into a yes or no question.
I
And
mean,
there
it
was-
is a yes or no question. Are you
Yes.
taking it through the creek?
Or not. And he finally said yes. And that was in December of 2025 when there was no plan. And now he reiterates that same plan. And again, I've already explained in the other video what happens when that breaks and those forever chemicals one more time goes into the Brazos River, down to Washington on the Brazos at Brenham, and then behind and into Fort Bend County, behind the State Supported Living Center at Richmond, and then all the way into Matagorda Bay, and then into the Gulf of whatever it is this week.
It's the Gulf of Mexico. We're not doing this today.
So whatever it is going to pollute half of the state of Texas with this one data center again. And the other interesting part is if you take it through White Rock Creek, we've done a few videos in White Rock Creek.
Mm-hmm.
They're already rearranging stuff that a former county commissioner put up so that you can drive vehicles in White Rock Creek.
Hmm.
Somebody is.
Somebody.
And part of that creek goes through somebody's property named Wilson.
Oh.
And the Wilson that's in the audio told me who would not want to have, and I quote, 7 houses hooked into that.
It's insane.
It's just crazy
It's a
that, that somebody may be benefiting from this project
somebody. Well.
named Wilson.
Somebody named Wilson.
And we've had a request for annexation on the property next to the school that's in your CCN. I think they asked y'all for a couple hundred meters.
Yep.
And y'all said, you know, we couldn't supply them. They came to us.
Yep.
And so they asked us to put, we were going to,
Yeah, we were too close to our max limit.
yeah. And so we were thinking,
Someone
we
was able to
had
say no.
tentatively penciled in for this month, but they asked us to hold off. Apparently they haven't.
So, if the project goes through, there's another project. We've already talked about the Batch Creek plant that builds data center walls that was approved in December when there was no plan.
The concrete plant.
Concrete plant down by Myers Lane, and those people, 400 people in those apartments that are upset about it, that I'm sure did not know that it was for a data center that was going in.
Yeah.
And now there's another project that Lacey Lakeview was approached about a subdivision and being annexed. Lots of pieces. I wonder who all is involved in that subdivision with all those water meters. Something to look into.
We look into.
Another small property or something that they're trying to add to the package. But
Wait a minute.
they're willing to
Okay.
A little bit of a tick there.
Okay. Well, I don't know if it's a tick, but if I'm playing cards with a guy, I mean, so far, I would say that was a tail. If I played cards, and I was in Vegas, am I right? I mean, I'm sorry. I'm probably the card player. As most of you do know, I do play cards. and I'll be honest, y'all seen me, I can cut cards, a deck with one hand. So don't play cards with me, Mr. Wilson. It's not going well so far. I don't think those people out there are believing anything that's happening at this point.
Entertain a package plant down there, which would allow us to pick up a lot of Northcrest and area. So we could end up, I would like to have multiple package plants so that we.
I like how he says Northcrest. Northcrest could be in existence before. Again, another situation where your mind's trying to say one thing and you're trying to compensate for what you're saying.
It's a struggle.
Coughing,
It's a struggle.
trying to just get the right stories out, no plans.
And one elegant solution.
And one elegant solution from spies and lies.
We can get this effluent picked up. The cost of the pipe is just $3 million a mile for a 27-inch sewer pipe. And when I heard that, I was like, well, the old sewer systems of having a central facility and taking everything to it, I don't know that that's economical to build anymore.
So what kind of plants are you talking? What kind of sewer plants are you talking about?
Package plant.
Yeah, package plant.
I mean, conceptually, a container that you drop inside and it processes the water mechanically very rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
we looked at some of those here.
Yeah.
Or something similar to that.
Yeah, and so part of the most immediate question is, we know you guys are having issues and concerns with your sewer plant. We could possibly organize that effluent to be collected. Now, we can't really ship it from our end of our line down there to Ross. It's 109 feet of elevation, and the guy that we talked to at the Ross group is a civil engineer, and you can't take sewage, 7 miles up 109 feet. How many lift stations do you
You'd
want
have
to put in?
a lift station every 150 feet.
Right.
Yeah,
But you can't push effluent.
Yeah.
Should we talk about the lift station malfunctions that have been happening across Texas, or should we just let people look that up?
I think those people are smart enough out there in TV land and the internet to have seen even some of the stories about all that. I mean, there's stuff going on all over the place about them still trying to put in data centers where they are having water problems and all this kind of stuff.
But man, those lift plants.
Yeah.
Look it up. It's a fascinating little piece of this.
And I get back to that 100-year floodplain, and I know you heard it in the last video. We just had the governor running around saying, 45 counties during the flood, and then we had that light rain. I call it a light rain. My family called basically a hurricane, a cotton shower, or a tornado one time. Literally a tornado in Burke Burnett. My great uncle called it a cotton shower. So, I mean, the governor was all upset about that and declared disasters and emergencies just the other month. And I mean, imagine all these data centers in that flooding area. Again, I'm not understanding any of this and how it works with site management and building plans.
Not to mention the lack of crisis declaration on all of these data centers.
Exactly.
But you can push effluent like water. Well, once you start laying the infrastructure to push effluent, now you're talking about an industrial park. Because effluent, all the studies are saying more and more industry is going towards being able to use effluent for industrial purposes.
It's almost like it belongs in
And
industry parks.
This side of the interstate's residential, that side of the interstate's industrial. Generally speaking, if you're talking about big picture stuff, that's not to say there won't be overlap, but if we're talking about infrastructure, there's a bunch of infrastructure that's going to be laid over here and it's going to go through y'all. And in some ways, it might be a solution for some of the issues y'all have. It might be a complication. We're just trying to, all of this could change or it could not happen. So please, I don't want it to sound like,
I like how he's trying to describe that geographically from one side to the other, and he puts it over in we're back to a non-industrial area.
Mm-hmm. He's basically pitching against himself here, and I'm not sure why. It's like, what makes a lot more sense is to put these in industrial places. So we decided to put it not in an industrial place.
Again, your brain can't keep up with what you're wanting to say if it's a lie.
We're in here trying to sell something, but it's time for us to bring y'all into the loop. And into that end, we could help y'all with some of y'all's problems. We could buy you. We could merge. I mean, there's, that's where.
Okay, I got a question. In several meetings, numerous meetings, he said Lacey Lakeview has no money. There's even articles that say out there at Waco Bridge, I think, did one that said, we don't have no money.
Yep.
No money.
We can't fix our own roads. We can't do our own pipelines. We can't do anything because we have no money.
So, I got one big question. What money is this you're using, Mr. Wilson? Are you pitching in Frackie's money? Do they know that you were pitching their money when you did that? Do you work for them? Are you on their payroll? Where's this money that you're talking about that's coming? If you had that money, you would need a data center. You could fix the city of Lacey Lakeview, you would think.
Well, he said we could buy you.
We.
Who is we?
Yeah, because apparently it's more than one person or one entity or one group. Who are the we?
We're talking about, I feel like my role as mayor is not to get down too far into the weeds, because I've got a really talented city manager, I've got a really talented city attorney, and I got Walker Partners. They can work out the details. I've got to make sure that we don't suffer from the failure to imagine what needs to happen between the interstate and the Brazos River, and what do you guys want to do? And so that's the message today.
Do you know what a proposal even looks like?
I'm sorry?
Do you know what the proposal would even look like?
A proposal for what?
For what the venture you're talking about?
For an acquisition? I don't. Calvin and I were talking about, well, how do you do that? And I went, well,
because your engineers are talking to our engineers and
come up with a number. I just don't know.
Yeah.
But y'all probably have the same issues. We've got, I think it's was $2 million worth of manhole work we need to do, lining our manholes so they aren't leaking. Y'all probably have brick.
But somehow we have enough money to buy you. Can we separate the we out from who those are?
Well, he doesn't want to get into the weeds.
No, he doesn't want to get in the weeds. You get into the weeds, and, well, there's a lot of stickers in it. And, oh, yeah, I'm from the farm and ranch. There's snakes in the weeds.
Don't get too far.
Don't get too far.
Line manholes just like we do.
we already fixed all that.
You already fixed it all?
That's why we're in debt.
That's why.
Okay.
Sorry. He said, we got to fix the manholes in our area. And they said, you probably do too. And Elmont said, we already did. That's why we're in debt.
Yeah.
Sorry, Elmont. But
Well,
your road's fixed. Debt happens.
Yeah.
You make up for it over time. That's how, the cities function that way sometimes. The state of Texas isn't in debt. We should note that before we keep going too much into this whole rhetoric. But
And so, you guys may have a light at the end of the tunnel that's going to allow y'all to go out and break free and run. But if that data park happens, Lacey Lakeview's going to have a lot of tax base, and it's we're not coming in here to just grab the cherries off the tree and take them to Christ.
Pause.
talking to these people? Why are they using this language?
I
What's
have to-
happening?
She knows what I'm getting ready to
I know
say.
exactly
And
what you're
again, we do not script these videos
You
at
can
all.
tell. We know you can tell.
We just have a conversation, chat with TA again. So we were in Hill County. Watch the video. It's literally called cherry picking. And that's what the lady in that video in Hill County who says she has numerous properties said, cherry picked. Now he says cherries.
We're not trying to pick all the cherries from the tree. We're going to have a lot of tat space, though. Is it weird when someone says something like, we're going to have a lot of tat space, and it comes out like a threat?
Yeah, I mean,
that's an odd
I'm
conversation to
I'm
me.
still stuck on everybody's using the same pitch.
Yeah, the exact same pitch. I'm gonna one of our videos I'm gonna bring back. We have the exact same pitch, like 100 miles east of here. They have the transcript because they held their meeting online. We'll show you it. It's the exact same pitch. But
Carry on. More cherry picking.
And what are we going to do? I mean, you're talking about Lacey Lakeview's a very conservative estimate all in, 40, 50 million possibly. Now there's going
Very
to be abatements on some of that, and yeah.
Now hit that $40 or $50 million. So they're going to have to upgrade all their pipes and everything else because everybody uses again the same pitch. How many times have you heard this? I'm going to ask you. It's 50 years old and we haven't done nothing. That's another pitch word.
yeah, I think I've heard that for every county we've been in. At least,
At least the majority, for sure.
at least 20 counties are pitching it with that language. At least 20.
So here we are, the same situation again, and they're using the same pitch over and over and over.
And I feel like it's
So-
important to remember that they talked about this being a $10 billion project.
And he's talking about 40 or 50 million. So it's going to cost 40 or 50 million, if you realize it, just to fix that infrastructure. So they're not going to be making any money anytime soon.
I mean, what percentage are we actually looking at? If we're talking about, I mean, that's not even 1% of 10 billion, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure that would be wouldn't that be my math could be wrong.
Well,
but
what I'm hung up on is the part that he was talking about how much pipe it cost and how
yeah,
much
he said
this
$3
and-
million for 1 mile.
And,
I'm like,
and all this stuff. So in
so
retrospect,
10 miles of pipe you've got covered with all that excess money you had come in.
well, plus all this other stuff about the manholes and everything.
Yeah, I don't know where that's going.
Well, Lacey Lakeview, clearly, based on what he's saying, if I'm grasping, you're not going to even be making any money for a long time.
No, especially if the county's involved and they've put together that 381 agreement. I
Oh.
mean,
Yeah, that multi-municipality district thing.
Oh, well, that
plus
changes
the mud
everything.
And everything.
That would
And
change
it-
everything.
Now it's redispersed even more.
so, and again, we were pitched a $10 billion facility. That's how much it's going to cost them to create it. $10 billion. I don't know what percentage gets us the 40 or 50 million,
Or maybe
but we do
or maybe-
know that $2 to $3 million for 1 mile of pipe for affluent. And so it's like,
Or maybe the pitch is they're just supposed to. They're telling everybody they're going to make $10 billion off of this project.
how well, y'all, if you haven't looked, I would encourage you to look at how in debt the AI industry is currently. Last I checked, $1.7 trillion in debt. Then look up the GDP of the United States and tell me that we don't have a problem. We've got a problem.
It's like the oil boom. I keep saying it.
It is. It's exact. Well, I mean, like, Seal keeps saying it's the new gold rush, and we've talked about this before, and I think it's relevant. The Texas gold rush had no gold. There was no gold.
Well, we
It crashed.
Well,
No, it crashed.
No. I'm going to say there is gold in Texas, but it is called pyrite. It is
Fool's gold.
She caught up with me, dang it.
I'm just saying, if we keep calling this the gold rush in Texas, that should set off alarm bells to everybody because it failed miserably. It did.
Yeah, it could end up being a third of that. Well, you know, a third of 60 million is twice our current budget.
Well, we upped it to 60 million to split into thirds, by the way. I'm not going to get into that, but
So there's going to be some revenue here, plus, and I want to make sure everybody remembers that we're talking about an overlay district, so that we can, because the county's going to get tax revenue off this thing, MCC is going to get tax revenue off this thing, and Conley School's going to get tax revenue. So
Hit
we're
pause.
just one of.
So, who did he say? The county.
MCC.
We're back. Well, I'm going to go back specifically to my favorite friend that I got to see this week, Judge Felton.
And Connolly School District has no memos on this, unless they didn't give me what I asked for in the Public Information Act. They didn't even offer me anything. They said they have absolutely nothing regarding an overlay district, an MDD, or any emails regarding this project. So,
Again, I would say we go back to the state board that regulates schools, and I definitely start talking about that for sure, because Conley's been having problems, and we need transparency for that for sure for our children.
Yeah.
And he said those
MCC.
and MCC now is involved.
You know, another college that seems to be involved is Hill County College.
Yeah,
We'll circle back.
Yeah, we'll circle back on that one.
I just thought I'd throw it out there in case anyone's wondering.
Well, if you want to talk about colleges, I mean, you know, years ago it was called the Texas State Institute for some of us. Now it's called TSTC. They added the word college and took out institute. We have seen the lovely governor and Larry Fink, who, as we say, follow the money. Watch that video. You'll see where he was involved in a whole lot of money. I think it was, what, 10 million to TSTC?
That's not a ton for a college. I'll be honest, like 10 million is what?
Well, you know.
Maybe a research lab.
Well, that's what they did. They put up a whole big old thing and made a big old deal about it. Yes.
We'll see.
PR stuff. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
10 million. PR.
Yeah.
Rebranding.
Going through this.
Tax revenue off this thing, and Conley School's going to get tax revenue. So we're just one of 4 taxing entities involved.
Now,
If we have an overlay district,
now, I want to make a very good point about this.
Only good points accepted.
Only good points accepted. I'm going to go back to this week, back to that commissioner's court meeting, and I heard several times from Mr. Dixon and the judge, county judge, say, we do not need more government overlay. We do not need more government districts. We don't need that. We don't need it.
No more bureaucracy.
Well, no more bureaucracy. We don't want
definitely
it.
didn't feel like bureaucracy at play when we were denied the district.
We were denied this one, but it appears to be you were completely involved in 4. You're one of 4 that are involved in making more government after you just sat there and told we the people we don't need an ag district. Now, I want you to explain that to your constituents. I know not everyone in that room was cherry-picked and knew what was going on. But, Judge, it seems like for sure you were.
All right.
all 4 of those taxing entities, their monies have to get tapped. That becomes the collateral. So it's not just pull a number out, $30 million for Lacey Lakeview. Well, whatever our number is what the county's number is. And the school's number is going to be bigger than either the county's or ours. And then MCC is going to be a smaller number. But, you know, you're talking about a number between 50 and 100 million worth of.
My good question is, who got to decide what the percentages was? He doesn't explain that.
Well, he hasn't acknowledged yet what type of overlay district it is, and that's where we're hitting the wall, because there are codes that explain what has to happen if you are to put in place an overlay district.
Now, the way I understand it, from one person that I'm just going to say a House of Representatives, I thought that all had to go through back to the state.
To some extent, everything has to go back to the state. The thing is,
I mean, the
We've been there. There has been a huge. Okay. Speaking from the Republican side of things, there was a massive movement amongst the members to get rid of these different overlay districts that were essentially breaking off taxing entities to do their own thing. People are upset that they're being taxed separately from somebody who lives like one county over, or 3 counties over, where it's like, why am I paying this much for the same exact kind of house on the same exact kind of property? And they get upset about it, and it's justified. People are losing their houses because even though they own it, they get a divorce, and now it's no longer considered a homestead. There's all of these different things that have been happening with taxing entities and Texas, to the point that representatives have decided that the better option would be to get rid of these overlay districts and try to create something more standard. The feasibility of that is a little difficult when you have certain schools relying on these different things. You have to actually make adjustments. If you wondered why we got this voucher program started, this is part of that. If you're wondering why the data centers are coming in, this is part of that. There's this imaginary structure being built in the background that we don't know about yet. But somehow this one type of overlay district that he's talking about survived a series of cuts that were made last year and the year before at the state. We brought this up with a rep, and they said that these don't even exist anymore. It's like, this one does. There are a couple that still do.
Clearly, he's talking about it.
Yeah, and this is January 2026. And what can you retroactively take away if you pass it in one legislative session to another? I'm not entirely sure, especially when it's related to the functioning of a school. But it's complicated.
Definitely reasons to ask and questions to be inquired about.
Yeah.
The total tax revenue on a data center of this scope, if it gets built, within 3 to 4 to 5, it takes a while for this revenue to come online. But 5 years down.
If it gets built 5 years down the line, we might see money. That's a bad pitch.
But at the same token, we all know, I think we all know, if not, I urge you to go look at technology and the changes and how rapid it changes. I'm going to say it real simple. How fast does your cell phone go out of date? How fast?
I mean, a year.
How fast does it go out of date as far as actually upgrading to the next software change? And then you get so far and you can't do anything else with it other than get a new one, because it won't take the new information.
Here's a hack. Don't upgrade the software. my phone's living in 2020.
Well, there you go.
But the technology is going to change.
And there's a good chance they're going to build this thing, and then by then there's a whole new solution, and I've been looking at it, a whole new solution about fluids. I don't want to say radiator fluid, but I mean something similar to that. It changes the boiling point and the cooling point of water and things, so that you could use this solution to cool the chips much easier than you can water that they want.
Okay, but like you also have to think about like the size of a calculator 50 years ago.
Yes.
Versus the size of my phone that does everything.
Exactly. Pictures, calculators. It's like the little Dick Tracy watch is now here. She even got the watch.
Yeah. We're not anti-tech.
No.
We're realistic about tech. This technology is going to change. You're going to take away thousands of acres for agriculture, for necessity, for a building that's going to be obsolete. It's almost as if it's not a data center.
And I'm totally the opposite. I love tech. I mean, everybody that knows me, I'm a gizmo guru, gadget thing. I love all that.
I'm like,
I just like how one person put it, and I'm going to repeat what they said. There are proper places for these, and this is not one of them.
And I'm not anti-tech. Again, I've got the phone on my hand. It's all good. It's the fact that there is no right place for something that's going to be taking 15 million gallons of water a day. There is no right place for that. If it's in perpetuity, 15 million gallons of water a day, there's not a right place for it. And if you're disputing that, go look up the Fermi project. They're at 2.5 million gallons of water a day. It is upping to 10 million gallons of water a day. That's for the data center. I don't even know how much they're going to be using for the power generation. And so, you know, we all have different opinions, but the same final outcome is this makes no sense. This project, this pitch makes no sense.
There's not even enough data on the data centers to be able to make a reasonable conclusion.
We have people working constantly to make these things literally smaller because owning this much land and keeping up with something like that isn't sustainable. So why are they trying to put in? People kept saying hundreds. They said hundreds. They said hundreds. After that comptroller report came out, and they acknowledged how many people have asked to plug in, thousands. We have over 1,000 people looking for connection onto ERCOT that are looking for these high megawatt to a gigawatt of power. There's no, it doesn't make sense. And I just want to say that, like, think about in the big picture, does this make sense? And we'll circle back to.
Well, the other thing that doesn't
things.
make sense, I know earlier while we were talking about this topic completely across segments, we said artificial intelligence. What makes sense to me is, you know, and I keep on going back to history, you know, and I like to learn from our mistakes and not keep repeating the same ones.
Yeah, that would be better.
You know, that would be what history's supposed to be, I thought, or that's the way I was taught. You know, you learn your lessons, you know, and you go forward and try not to do that. So if we think about 1945 and AI being just a slogan pitch,
Right.
you know, and it's still a marketing term.
It's still a marketing term.
And so if you think about that and you put it in the perspective as we went along, they were at data centers. I mean, I know some of you, and I've talked to you in various locations and counties about punch cards or this or that or whatever it is. The computers evolved, and we had to do those sort of things. They were at colleges. They were at NASA. They were at government facilities. They were protected. They wasn't out in the community.
Yeah, the traditional.
And so now if you talk about AI and you say it's something to do with national security, okay, if we got to have it for national security, I mean, okay, you gave me the pitch. My pitch is, shouldn't it be on a government facility? I mean,
if it's for national security,
shouldn't it be at a military base where they can be protected?
Shouldn't it be owned by the government?
Why shouldn't it be? Why does it need to be out here in the community where we don't have, as far as cities and little county places, those guys ain't trained exactly the same way as government people are at that level to protect national security.
And I don't think that private entities are equipped to secure data the way that national security requires.
And I don't think so far, I have not heard of one, and I'm going to throw some words out here. I don't see one, and I've talked, and one of the people that's an expert in this, Gary was down there with us in Austin.
Gary Oldham.
Yes.
With Protect Round Rock.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we talked about it. He hasn't heard of it, or during our course of our conversation, we brought up Faraday cages, and he looked at me and, you know, kind of shrugged his shoulders. Neither one of us, I don't think, can say we've heard that they've made these with Faraday cages or any kind of risk management part in mind. I mean, as
because
far
they're being
as
built by private entities that are going to hand it off to another person. That's what all of them are pitching.
Yeah,
we're the builders. We're not the.
Yeah. Build it, they will come.
Yeah, it's a bad system.
All right, sorry, I just jumped off into ocean risk management and the fire safety.
It needs
and
to
stuff.
happen.
Yeah.
The conversation
all
has
of
to
that
be said.
needs to be a whole show by itself.
Yeah, we'll circle back to that. We'll circle back to AI too. We'll circle back.
And
to
we might even be able to get Gary to come down here and have a chat with us.
That'll be great.
He is awesome.
Yep.
I like that guy.
Down the road, there's going to be a lot of tax revenue to take care of a lot of problems. And Lacey Lakeview has a desire for more tax base on the interstate. You know, we're interested in annexing where we can, where people are willing, where it makes sense, because we don't want to become the next Beverly Hills.
He said that, but he said where people are willing and it makes sense. So he said annexing. I think he meant eminent domain. We're going to keep going.
Right. And we have been getting some requests on that, just so you know.
Yeah, on both sides,
Yeah,
both the
both
east and
sides.
west side, we're having people come to us because they'd rather come to us and go to Waco.
Yeah.
Now, we do get our water from Waco. We have a really good water contract. We can almost take care of that data part, almost, but we can't.
Okay. Bear with
We're
me
gonna
for
run
a
out of
half
time
a
again.
Yeah, we're going to run out of time again. He says so much stuff in here that is just fascinating.
Yeah.
He has such a good contract. They have a wonderful contract with Waco. A little while ago, he said, no, they did not. Y'all heard it.
He wants to keep Waco out of this.
He wanted to talk about the line and changing it and all this, and it wasn't going to work, and blah, 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 blah. And now it's great.
Yep.
Was it bad or was it good? I don't know. I mean, I would say car salesman, but that wasn't the business he was in. Spies and lies.
Oh my gosh.
Can't take care of all of the development that'll have to afterwards, and that's going to be part of subsequent negotiations with Waco.
Do
You
y'all
still
mix?
use your,
Not at all.
Not at all. Yeah, that was part of our initial agreement. Our wells are capped at the moment.
okay.
Yeah,
That's my question.
yeah. I mean, so it's something we could negotiate for if we wanted it. The data park, one of the principals in the data park is part of the BRA system, one of the smaller boards on the southern end of the watershed.
Wait a minute.
Small.
When he said
is-
principals, did he mean someone who works with them? What did he mean by principals? One of the principals with the data park is with the BRA.
That's what he said.
Oh, that's gonna make some people mad.
Because,
I don't remember hearing that one.
Because I think I pointed it out on the little board that we originally did this
I
when
think
we
we're
heard
gonna
it the
have to-
first time.
Then we're gonna have to blow that piece up a bit.
Yeah. I wish we
I'm
could,
writing that down.
I wish we could go back just a little bit and we can play that one more
I'm
time.
gonna play it one more time. I can do that, and then we'll have to wrap up this episode.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up on a cliffhanger.
That's crazy.
We can
Oh, dear.
almost take care of those
Almost take
of that data part, almost. But we can't take care of all of the development that'll have to afterwards, and that's going to be part of subsequent negotiations with Waco.
Do
You
y'all
still
mix?
use your,
Not at all.
Not at all. Yeah, that was part of our initial agreement. Our wells are capped at the moment.
okay.
Yeah,
That's my question.
yeah. I mean, so it's something we could negotiate for if we wanted it. The data park, one of the principals in the data park is part of the BRA system, one of the smaller boards on the southern end of the watershed. So they were able, they've got their own water. It's like 14 million gallons a day to fill their system.
That's where we're gonna end it. That's where we're gonna end it, folks.
Okay. We're gonna.
They've already got 14 million gallons a day promised from the BRA. Am I crazy? That's what I heard.
He said $14 million a day that they have with
Gallons.
the gallons with the water, and
Yikes.
it's one of the principles with BRA. I would like to say, who are you, and who's
think we
hiding
might-
behind the scenes?
I remember a mention of an Aaron who's a hydrologist that Sujeeth knew.
Yep.
We'll circle back, y'all.
Yeah. Well, that's the most we can do for today's video. If y'all want to, because, there's not a lot of us, but there's way more y'all. Go ahead and, like I like to say, we're trying to empower you to do the right thing, and you do some research. You
We
got time,
appreciate
you go out there and see what you can find out. And like a lot of times, I'll see you in the comments.
Thanks, y'all.